Ready to go?
Yeah, but the fire's not out.
It's close enough.
Close enough? If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. I mean, the next thing you know, you've torched our whole neighborhood.
Which is why we're not going anywhere?
Exactly. 9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
And we do welcome you to the Maxwell Leadership Center here on the campus of Ohio Christian University. Rick Cooper and the Trailblazer Basketball Network counting you down to the home opener tonight between Ohio Christian and Indiana Wesleyan University. Hi everybody, it is Rick Cooper and we say greetings from Circleville, Ohio on a cold November night here in Circleville. Trailblazers kick off the 2012-2013 campaign at home after 2 weeks on the road. They traveled this past weekend up to Grand Rapids, Michigan. Indiana Wesleyan was up in Grand Rapids as well. We'll tell you about that momentarily. And what a weekend for this OCU basketball team, talking about knocking off Grace Bible College on Saturday, the 4-time defending NCCAA Division II champs. Grace beat them 62-60. OCU won that basketball game. They shot 53% from the field. They turned it over only 12 times in that win, did OCU. Center Devin Benson, recently inserted into the starting lineup, had 14 points and 9 rebounds for OCU. He was 7 of 12 from the field. Kenny Cooper added a dozen, and Wesley Russell added 11. The Tigers shot only 43% in that loss. Nick Mascoro led Grace Bible with 14, and senior Zach Scuddy, the national tournament MVP from a year ago, added 13. And so OCU, 2 huge wins. Grace Bible, as we said, 4 straight national championships, and Kuiper ranked number 3 in one of the preseason polls this year. So a big weekend on the national scene for OCU. And that coming after a weekend where they split up at Mount Vernon. They lost to Mount Vernon by 2 and knocked off IU East, an NAIA program, up at Mount Vernon as well. So the Trailblazers 3-1. They will have their work cut out for them today, however, as Indiana Wesleyan in town, the Wildcats at 4-1. This is a program that returns 12 players from a 21-12 team a year ago. This is a program that about this time a year ago, they were the #1 ranked team in the NAIA, so big expectations for them. Number 4 in the most recent NAIA poll. They're coming in, as I said, 4-1, coming off a tough loss at number 20 Cornerstone this past weekend. Same weekend, OCU was up in Grand Rapids. Indiana Wesleyan up there at the Crossroads WHAC Challenge. They got beat by Cornerstone on Saturday, 69-65. Indiana Wesleyan shot only 46% from the charity stripe, 10 of 22 in that game. Cornerstone a blistering 86% from the line, 18 of 21, and that was the difference. Was Patrick Hopkins that led Indiana Wesleyan with a double-double, 18 points, 14 rebounds. Junior guard Jordan Widener, the only other Wildcat in double digits, he had 14 points. Cornerstone's Derek Kingshot led all scorers with 26, but this is a solid program, and one of the big reasons why is their new head coach, Greg Tonigal. He's been there 8 years, but this is a program that was about 250 games under 500 in its career and lifetime at Indiana Wesleyan before Tonigal came in. He's a 2003 Valparaiso grad that led Valparaiso to 4 consecutive NCAA appearances. His only connection to the school was that his younger brother was at Indiana Wesleyan when he took the job, and so he actually had the opportunity to coach his brother Joel for 2 years at Indiana Wesleyan. He was the first All-American in Indiana Wesleyan history, and then eventually his brother Troy came in as well. Had 1 year back in 06-07 where he actually got to coach Troy and Joel together. So that was his only connection. He's come in and has been a great fit. 8 years, two-time conference coach of the year, and has a 74% winning percentage. He has averaged 25 wins per year in his first 7 seasons, and he won 5 conference championships as well. The conference that they are in, the former Mid-Central College Conference, has a new name in 2012. It's now called the Crossroads League, and some schools you might be familiar with: Mount Vernon Naz, the only Ohio team in that conference; Spring Arbor out of Michigan, a bunch of Indiana schools, talking about Bethel and Goshen and Grace and Huntington and Taylor University and these Indiana Wesleyan Wildcats. And it's such a good conference, guys, that they get 3 or 4 teams a year in the national tournament. 2 automatic berths, but they have had such a good run, that the elite in that league, that the NAIA, out of their 32 teams tournament, usually puts 3 and sometimes even 4 of these teams in that tournament. So Indiana Wesleyan has had 4 Elite 8 appearances in the NAIA over the last 7 years, and last year a bit of a disappointment. At 21-12, they were beat in the first round of that 32-team NAIA tournament. So these two teams did square off a year ago. It was Indiana Wesleyan winning that meeting up in Marion. It was the final of 86-63. It was only a 35-30 game at the half, but Indiana Wesleyan put 51 on the board in the second. They outscored OCU 51-33. 4 different Wildcats scored double digits. Jordan Widener had 23, and Indiana Wesleyan, a hot shooting day, 63% as a team. They held OCU to only 30% field goal shooting, and the Trailblazers had 27 turnovers, 19 of them in the first half. Mike Farrell and Wesley Russell, both the team high 20. Farrell was 4 of 9 on threes, and Russell was hot at the charity stripe, where he was 14 for 15. So that's what happened a year ago. Trailblazers want to return the favor here today on their home court. Trailblazers, 3rd in the nation a year ago. They've already knocked off number 3 and number 1 in the NCCAA Division II. They've already knocked off an NAIA, and they want to go after the Wildcats tonight in what some are calling the biggest basketball game that has ever been played in this arena in terms of the nationally ranked Indiana Wesleyan Wildcats coming to town. OCU has never played a nationally ranked NAIA opponent in this building, and they don't just want to play them, they want to beat them, and they're going to have to play well to do it tonight. Coming up on the pregame show, we'll give you tonight's starting lineups. We will compare these two teams statistically, but when we come back, we're going to check in with Tony Stockman, the former Ohio State Buckeye, first-year head coach of the Trailblazers, to get his thoughts on tonight's contest. It's Indiana Wesleyan 4-1, OCU at 3-1. The head coach, Tony Stockman, coming up after this 60-second timeout here on the OCU Trailblazer Basketball Network.
One of the slogans that we came up with was "We're number 2," and that was one that seemed to take a hold because everybody would ask, "What are you saying you're number 2 for? You know, what are you number 2 about? You know, don't you want to win?" And of course we wanted to win. We wanted to be the best we could be, but we were number 2 because Jesus Christ was number 1, and that's how we started.
The Lord has blessed all of us, and it's a time that you can't forget. It's the 4 years of your life that you'll always have memories of.
So we knew we could do it, but we finally did it, and we made it.
Christian, first game in the Leadership Center here in 2012-2013, and number 4 Indiana Wesleyan, a tough home opener opponent tonight. And Tony Stockman gracious enough to talk with us before the tip. And Coach, your first game as a head coach on the home floor in the Leadership Center, and for your guys as well. How excited are the guys to be playing against a nationally ranked team opening up 2012 tonight?
Oh, very excited. You know, we started out on the road. We already played 4 games, but it's no place like home. And you know, you're familiar to have the same people around, your family and your friends get to watch you play. So they're overly excited, a little nervous about that with the start, but I know they'll settle in and play good.
Let's talk about where this team is right now after 2 weekends on the road. You knocked off the 4-time NCCAA 2 champs over the weekend. You also knocked off number 3 Kuiper, probably in hostile territory up in their backyard up in Grand Rapids, and 1-1 the weekend prior against 2 NAIA squad. At 3-1 right now, is this where you thought you'd be 2 weeks into the season?
Not sure. You know, we didn't know what to expect from our guys, but one thing that they do every time is they play hard. You know, and that takes a lot of the mistakes out of the way. We're hoping to start to get better with execution and limiting our turnovers. You know, just we want to get better every game.
You mentioned to me yesterday that this team has kind of broken down a little bit late in games. They need to finish better, is I think how you put it. What are some areas where there have been some breakdowns at critical points?
Yeah, just execution. The Mount Vernon game sticks out, obviously, because we lost by 2, and we just didn't execute our plays. You know, people kind of broke off the plays and tried to do their own thing, and it didn't work out well. I think in the Grace game, we did execute pretty well. Our conditioning seems to be good. We don't seem to have trouble with that. It's just coming down to the execution of the plays, and that leads to turnovers when we don't, and it leads to missed shots.
Got to be a good sign. You can win big, scoring 97 against Kuiper, then you kind of ground one out against Grace 62-60 less than 24 hours later. Which is a better indication of what you expect to see for the most part this season?
Oh, we want to get in a run. We want to go. But that's what I was telling my guys, that we have to be able to play both ways because there's going to be teams that slow us down. But we want to affect our will on the game, and we want it to be up in the 80s and 90s.
8 new faces that the home crowd going to get a look at tonight. If there's been a guy, I guess a 2-part question. If there's a guy that OCU fans better keep an eye on, who is it? And maybe part B, Coach, who's been the biggest surprise through 4 games so far for you?
Well, I think the first 2 games, Devin Benson, a big guy from Maxwell, he didn't do much, but this weekend he had a great weekend. He had a great week of practice before, and I moved him into the starting lineup, and you know, he did the same thing that he did in practice. He played great, so I definitely would look out for him. And then Wesley Russell, he had a great year last year too. I think he was a 2nd-team All-American. He's just on the same track. Great hard worker, playing great with the team.
Let's talk real quick about Indiana Wesleyan. They're big, they're athletic, they're experienced. I mean, this is a team that most of the guys return. They were preseason number 1 a year ago. What do you need to do to knock off this NAI power number 4 Wildcats?
I think it's going to come down to, can we take them out of their system? They run, like you said, they've been doing it for a long time. That coach has been there for a while. They run their system really well. If our pressure defense can take them out and we can get some easy buckets running, that'll give us a good chance to win the game.
How much does their size concern you? I think they're 6'5", 6'5", 6'7", bringing a 6'9" off the bench.
Yeah, a little bit. Our team is really tough though, and I'm hoping that you know, we'll be able to be tough and get in there and box out and rebound. Rebounds are important, and just to keep my guys not to leak out. Like I said, we do like to run. I get them to stay in there and box out and get the ball before we go. That will be a concern for us.
Coach Bruce, super excited to be covering you this year. Appreciate your time and look forward to some thoughts after the game as well.
Thanks a lot.
That's Tony Stockman, the head coach of the Trailblazers, here on the pregame show. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll introduce you to tonight's starting lineups for both teams. It's Ohio Christian 3-1, Indiana Wesleyan 4-1. Back with more after this here on the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
As we enter these last days, we must train this generation now.
That God wants us to be real in this day.
I am a strong supporter of Christian education. Challenge the mind.
Our future depends upon Christian higher education.
Biblical values.
The future.
As the campus continues to grow,
new buildings and a record enrollment.
Good, sound Christian leaders.
Building a place that is making a difference in the lives of students.
business leaders, educators,
And he's trying to raise a generation of men and women who will stand and say, I will be counted for Christ. No game playing anymore.
Because the next generation is going to affect our world today.
A world needs to hear that Jesus Christ is the hope.
Rick Cooper back here in the Maxwell Leadership Center. It's OCU and Indiana Wesleyan, the home opener for the Trailblazers. 3-1 on the road the past 2 weeks. They're going to try to get win number 1 here in the Maxwell Leadership Center against the number 4 ranked team in the NAIA Division II. Let's meet the starting lineup. First of all, for the Wildcats from Marion, Indiana. Indiana Wesleyan University, about 50 miles northeast of Indianapolis, founded in 1920. Red and gray uniforms. And again, their head coach in his 8th season is 32-year-old Greg Tonigal, 2-time MCC Coach of the Year, 178 wins and 62 losses. He wins at a clip of 74%. The point guard is DJ Bettinger, 5'11" sophomore from Richfield, Ohio, 4.8 points and 2.8 assists. The shooting guard tonight is one of their leading scorers, Jordan Widener, at 16.8 points per game. Widener, a 6'2" junior from Danville, Indiana. He also dishes out a team best 4 assists. The small forward is number 32, Zach Vandewater, 6'5" sophomore from Warsaw, Indiana, 5.2 points, 2.8 rebounds. He shoots a team best 50% on threes. Aaron Martin is the power forward, 6'5" senior from Rossville, Indiana. He's a 4-year starter, averaging double digits, 11.2 points and 3.4 rebounds. He too shooting 50% behind the arc. And the man in the middle is Patrick Hopkins, 6'7" senior from Kokomo, Indiana, second team NAIA All-American back in 2012. He was an honorable mention All-American at the NAIA level a season ago. Head coach Tonigal says Hopkins can do it all. He is averaging 14.6 and a team best 8.6 rebounds while shooting 58% from the field. Again, the head coach is Greg Tonigal, wife Amy, one son Jace, and his coaching staff made up of Jeff Clark, Ethan Whaley, David Dimmick, and Fred Hodson. For OCU, the point guard tonight is Evan Bartlett, 5'9" freshman from Huber Heights, averaging 3.5 points, 2.3 assists. He has made all 7 of his free throws early in this year. Trayvon Carter will play the 2, 6'2" freshman from St. Vincent St. Mary, same high school that produced LeBron James, 7.5 points, 2.8 rebounds. He is shooting a blistering 71% from the field and 50% on threes. Trey Vaughn will play the small forward, 6' junior from Uniontown, Ohio. His first year with OCU, played 2 years at Ohio Valley University, an NCAA 2 school down in Parkersburg. He averages 17.3 points per game, 42% on threes. He's had 3 games of 20 or more points already this season. Kenny Cooper will be the power forward, 6'4", sophomore from Columbus DeSales High School. Honorable mention Mideast region a year ago, 6.3 points and a team best 6.3 rebounds. He also grabs a team best 2.3 steals per game. He is shooting 56% from the field. And the man in the middle is Devin Benson, 6'9" freshman from Mansfield Senior High School, a true freshman, 8.3 points, 5.8 rebounds. He shoots 52% from the field. The head coach of the Trailblazers is Tony Stockman, 3-1 here as a head coach early. He's the 2005 Buckeye grad, was their leading scorer his junior year, averaging 13.6 points per game. Led the Buckeyes under the Thad Mata era, played 1 year with Mata, 20-12 record as a senior. He was Mr. Basketball back at Medina High School in 2000 when he averaged 26 points per game. He was the ACC Freshman of the Year in 2001 at Clemson. Wife Brittany here, 3 sons, Taden, Maddox, and Brayson. He's assisted tonight by Jamie Batten, and of course he takes over for Curtis Christopher, who had a pretty nice nice run as well. In his 9 years with OCU, Christopher took the Trailblazers to a third-place finish a year ago, which was the best in OCU history. We are just about set for the opening tip. It is number 4 Indiana Wesleyan, NAIA power, coming in at 4-1. OCU at 3-1. Opening tip coming up after we pray and have the anthem in just a few moments here on the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
I'm home and I love it. I'm home where I belong.
It's always nice to come home, but many Americans are at risk of foreclosure and losing their homes. Making home affordable from the U.S. government has already helped over 1 million struggling homeowners like these. The sooner you act, the better chance we can help you.
I'm home where I belong.
Weight loss, it's one of the many ways to fight osteoarthritis pain. For more information on managing pain, go to fightarthritispain.org.
Greetings. I'm Mark Smith, president of Ohio Christian University. Each year, we invite the community to a festival of carols, a celebration of the birth of our Lord Jesus Christ.
I'm Dr. Rodney Soames, director of the OCU Chorale and Chamber Singers. On Saturday, December 1st, Ohio Christian University will host its 7th annual Festival of Carols and Messiah right here in a beautifully decorated Maxwell Leadership Center. We invite you to come join us for festive orchestrations of favorite Christmas carols, beautiful a cappella numbers, and Christmas selections from Handel's beloved Messiah. The chorale will be joined by the Circleville Community Choir and an excellent 45-piece orchestra composed of OCU faculty members, students, and area musicians. Pre-concert music begins at 6:30. Guests who come early will hear music by the chamber singers and other campus ensembles, as well as our invited guests. Following the concert, we light the campus Christmas tree, inaugurating the annual Festival of Lights on the university lawn. We invite you to come enjoy this evening with us. Admission is free, with donation of a canned food item for needy families in our area.
It's our gift to the community, and this year we invite you to be a part. Join us on this exciting occasion.
The extended, uncut version of the national anthem sung here in beautiful harmony here in the Maxwell Leadership Center. And what that means, most importantly, is we're just moments away from the opening tip. Your referees for today's game, Big Frank Vitt, who does a lot of games in this building. The referee, the umpires are Chris Stokes and John Gurney. Some early season statistics for these teams. OCU 80 a game, they give up 79. Indiana Wesleyan 74 a game. And Greg Tonigal has made his living defensively with this team, giving up only 58 a game. That's a plus 14, plus 16, I beg your pardon. Indiana Wesleyan 48%, OCU 48% from the field. Trailblazers 36% on threes with 25 makes. Indiana Wesleyan 42% with 40 makes. IWU is having some trouble at the charity stripe, only 57%. OCU 67%, 56 of 84. Trailblazers +3 rebounding margin. Indiana Wesleyan +1. Trailblazers are dishing out 16 assists per game. Indiana Wesleyan dishing out a dozen. Trailblazers block 4 shots. Indiana Wesleyan blocks 3. And IWU with 14 turnovers per game. They are forcing 17 turnovers against their opposition. A very good crowd in the Maxwell Leadership Center tonight. Eager to see Tony Stockman. We talked about it in the pregame. 2005 Ohio State graduate, was their leading scorer as a junior in 04, led them to a 20-12 season. Mr. Basketball in the state of Ohio back in, 2001, up at Medina High School, a suburb of Cleveland. And so people know this guy. Just finished up an 8-year playing career, and they're eager to see him coach. They're eager to see the returning Trailblazers. They're also eager to see the 8 new faces here in 2012, 2013. One face fans won't see as the Mr. Basketball from the state of Virginia, Lawrence Parsons. Parsons tore his ACL in the preseason, and he is done for the year. And so if there was a guy that people were most excited about, it was Parsons. He is still in school, and what I was told, guys, is he dunks the basketball even with a torn ACL. And he thought about still trying to play this season with that torn ACL, and was out in the Leadership Center this week still dunking the ball. So some teams that would probably still like his services. So Wildcats in their visiting red with the white numbers. Trailblazers in their home black with the black numbers. We're just about set to get underway. OCU will go left to right here in the first half, and to throw it up is our referee, Mr. Frank Vitt. It'll be Devin Benson jumping it up against Patrick Hopkins. And the opening tip controlled by OCU. Evan Bartlett, the freshman point guard, right side. Trey Vaughn just hit a 3. Well, that's one way to get started. Quick catch and fire from Trey Vaughn, who just attempted his 39th 3 in 5 games, or 4 games in about 30 seconds. So looking underneath and nearly taken away by OCU. We're trying to set up big Patrick Hopkins. You got to believe with the size of IWU, they're going to try to pound it underneath, get guys like Devin Benson in some foul trouble. Quick catch, they take it right to the rim, no good. Vandewater an offensive rebound, left side Widener. And they're going to call a travel on Widener, who shuffled the pivot foot, and it's a turnover back to OCU. Just underway, Rick Cooper, JT Burcham, Fairfield Digital Media from the Maxwell Leadership Center on the campus of Ohio Christian University. Both of these teams off to great starts. Looking underneath to Benson, who got free and was hammered from behind and is going to shoot 2 free throws. Foul is going to be charged to 33, Patrick Hopkins, their big center. It's his first, team first, and a couple free throws coming up here for the freshman from Mansfield Senior High School, an elementary ed major. Devin Benson bends the knees, fires, rim, backboard, rim and in. 4-0 OCU on a Trey Vaughn 3 and a Devin Benson free throw. Benson with one more, bends the knees and fires, good again. Benson has not started every game this season. James Nelson got a couple starts, and Tony Stockman put Devin Benson in, and he's been sensational and in that starting role. Right side, 3 on the way, backside of the rim, no good by Martin, and it goes out of bounds off Indiana Wesleyan, back to OCU. 19:01 to play here, first half. Trailblazers lead is 5-0, and an opportunity to build on that here. Evan Bartlett between the circles, picked up there by their point guard, DJ Bettinger. Trey Vaughn being hounded here. Kenny Cooper to the right side, and Bartlett picked up by Bettinger off a screen from Benson. Still picked up by Bettinger, trying to get into the lane, and it slapped loose, and it may have gone out of bounds off Bettinger. They're going to say, Frank Vidiz, that it went off of Indiana Wesleyan, and it'll stay with OCU. I thought maybe it went off Bartlett, I beg your pardon, the OCU point guard. Into Bartlett, 10 on the shot clock. Bartlett looking, picks up his dribble, gets it to Trey Vaughn, 5 on the clock. Kenny Cooper, 3 on the clock. Kenny Cooper threw it away, he left his feet. He thought Trey Vaughn was somewhere where he wasn't, and the turnover back to Indiana Wesleyan. So Cooper got himself in trouble and didn't help things when he left his feet. Unsure what he was going to do with the basketball. 5-0, Trailblazers here early. Just inside the timeline, it's Hopkins. Off a screen, it's Widener who nearly threw it away, and it is taken away by Cooper to the other end. Shot no good, but he was fouled, and he'll shoot 2. Foul this time charged to 30, Aaron Martin. It's his first, team second. And a couple free throws again here for OCU, this time in the hands of Kenny Cooper. Benson made both of the free throws earlier. Cooper 43% a year ago, 67% here early, and right side of the iron no good here. So Kenny has had his struggles from the charity stripe. 37 of 86 last season. Cooper bends the knees, he missed a pair. Rebound Indiana Wesleyan and Patrick Hopkins, a senior from Kokomo, Indiana. And they try to get it Widener underneath, and it's intercepted and taken away by Trayvon Carter. Bartlett with it for OCU, their point guard. Bartlett hounded, backside, is it Trayvon? He put it in. He took Vandewater backside, and there was nobody there for help. It's 5 for Trayvon. It's 7-0 OCU. DJ Bettinger, top of the key, Widener, left side Martin, and now left baseline Vandewater. Looking underneath for their big man who kicks it back out. Bettinger's 3, got it. DJ Bettinger, freshman or sophomore, beg your pardon, from Revere High School in Richfield, Ohio, home of the old Richfield Coliseum. Right baseline, it's Trey Vaughn. Vaughn tried to go to the left hand and missed it badly on that right baseline. Taken away by Indiana Wesleyan. Left side, Widener got a great look for 3. Front of the iron, no good. And Devin Benson up high for the defensive rebound. Benson to Crater. Crater into the lane, put it up, no. And they're going to call what? Offensive basket interference, as Benson went up and tried to dunk that basketball and grabbed the rim while it was still in the cylinder. That's a no-no, and it'll go back to Indiana Wesleyan. Substitution, Taylor Schoen is in, 6'4" senior from Oxford, Indiana. Sitting down is Aaron Martin. Martin scoreless. Taylor Schoen averages 2.4 points and 1.8 rebounds. It is still DJ Bettinger to the left side, and Widener, Jordan Widener, 16.8 points per game. Around the horn to Bettinger, now to Schoen, who's just checked in. Schoen picks up his dribble to Widener, left side. It's Vandewater. Shot clock is at 13. It's still 7-3, OCU by 4. Shot clock at 9. Kenny Cooper double teams momentarily on Bettinger. They're going to have to hurry to get it off. Widener to beat the horn, and he does with 1 on the shot clock. Trailblazers played pretty good defense there, and Indiana Wesleyan very patiently waited for an opportunity, and it came with 1 second left on the clock. Wesley Russell is checked in along with James Nelson for OCU. Russell's got it here, right side, Bartlett. It is a 3, back of the rim, no good, and the rebound to a flat-footed DJ Bettinger. Bettinger off a screen from the big man, Patrick Hopkins. Hopkins to Widener, who sets a screen again into the lane, and a foul. And they're going to say he was in the act of shooting, apparently, and a couple free throws coming up for Jordan Widener. The foul was on Kenny Cooper. who came over to provide some help. It's his first and the team first, and a couple free throws here for Jordan Widener, their leading scorer at 16.8 a game. First one rim, backboard rim, no good. Couple substitutions as Bartlett will sit down, Trey Vaughn will sit down, Milan Kostov and Jimmy Horton check in. Milan Kostov from Jambol, Bulgaria, 5 points a year ago, averaging 4 here early, and Jimmy Horton, second free throw is good. Horton from Cleveland, played at East Tech. My uncle was the AD at East Tech for about 30 years. 7-7, left side, it's Milan Kostov. Top of the key, Kenny Cooper around the horn to the right side, and Horton. Off a screen from Nelson, now Nelson goes away. Horton 17-footer, never got there. Front of the rim, no good. And Vandewater a defensive rebound. Vandewater straight to the rim, he put it in. Shielded was James Nelson by Big Patrick Stauffer, who's checked in. He just got in the way of Nelson, and Big James could never get there to make a play on the basketball. It is a 6-0 Indiana Wesleyan run. Left side, it's Kenny Cooper. Left baseline, it's Kostov. Kostov back to Cooper on the right side. Between the legs, Kostov shows 3, back to Russell, 3 on the way. Backside of the iron, and no good. It goes out of bounds, and give credit to DJ Bettinger as James Nelson went to make a play on that one. The smallest guy on this IWU team at 5'11" got in there and put a butt in the gut to big 6'8" James Nelson. 9-7, couple more subs coming in as Evan Mills going to check in for OCU, the sophomore from Columbus. Kenny Cooper will sit down at the 14:46 mark here in the first half. First appearance for Darian Michael for Indiana Wesleyan. 3 points, 1.4 assists. He's got the basketball here. He averages or shoots a team best 60% from the field. Michael's got it here, and a hold going to be called on Milan Kostov for OCU out on that left wing. Foul on Kostov is his first, team second. Darian Michael, by the way, if you get 5 minutes today, go to the Indiana Wesleyan website, go to their roster page, and click on the name Darian Michael, and they will put little highlight videos from every one of the guys. And Darian Michael can do some things in terms of leaping ability that you're not going to see very often from guys at our level. So check that highlight video out when you get 2 minutes at some point. Michael's brother plays actually a strong safety for the St. Louis Rams, so some good athletic genes in that family. 9-7, IWU by 2. With it left side is 34, George Jones the fourth. To Widener, back to Jones, who went to the left hand and put it in. First 2 for George Jones. Somebody came over and double-teamed Widener, and give Widener credit. He saw it and made him pay. 11-7. It is an 8-0 Indiana Wesleyan run. Under 14 minutes to play first half. Kostov left baseline. Back out to Wesley Russell. 11-7. Shot clock at 15. Russell into the lane. Tough shot, but he put it in. First 2 for the sophomore from Centennial High School. He averaged 12 a game a year ago. That scoring has gone up to 15 a game here early in 2012. George Jones the fourth to the left side, and Michael. Michael guarded tightly by Evan Mills. Left side again, it's George Jones the fourth. Right side, Widener. Widener free throw line extended underneath to Schoen, went to the left hand and could not finish. Rebound James Nelson. Russell looking to run. Right side, Kostov, 3-ball, missed everything. Got a decent look, although they closed out on him at the end. Into the lane, Widener on the rim, no. But he was fouled and will go to the line and get 2. Going to charge the foul to Jimmy Horton. It's his first and the team's third. And Jordan Widener back to the free throw line, where he is a 60% free throw shooter here early in the year. 2 of 3 here today. 5 points. He'll have 1 more. Substitutions for both teams. Benson is back. Trey Vaughn is back. And back for Indiana Wesleyan are their two bigs. Aaron Martin, the starting power forward, who comes back scoreless, and Patrick Hopkins, their NAIA All-American, two-time All-American, who returns scoreless as well. Widener makes the second free throw. He has 6. Vandewater is back in for him, so Widener sits with 6. And Vandewater back in with 2. Under 13 minutes to play first half, 13-9. It is a 10-2 Indiana Wesleyan run, and into the lane, Jimmy Horton was hammered. I believe they're going to charge this to Patrick Hopkins, and we'll see if they give him free throws. It is going to be charged to Hopkins. That's going to be his second. And so quickly, a substitution in the form of 24 Parker Stauffer off the Wildcat bench, and we would imagine that he's coming in for the All-American who's picked up his second foul. First free throw is up and in for Jimmy Horton. And yes, he is. So a big, big break here for OCU as Patrick Hopkins, 15 points, 9 rebounds, and a two-time All-American has to sit down with 2 personals here at the 12:49 mark. Second free throw by Horton is no good. Rebound, Wildcats. 13-10, Indiana Wesleyan. 12:40 to play first half. Between the circles, it's George Jones the fourth. Top of the key, Vandewater. Right side, it's Michael. Michael guarded by Trey Vaughn, a junior transfer. Into the lane, Martin pumps once, pumps twice. Good defense there by Evan Mills. Shot clock is at 7. Vandewater against Russell. Into the lane, dropped it off to Stauffer, who went to the right hand and dropped it in. First 2 for the junior from Wabash, Indiana. 15-10. Trailblazers trail by 5 here early. Across the timeline, it's Wesley Russell, picked up by Jones. Left baseline, Mills for 3, backside of the iron, no good. And Darian Michael grabs the defensive rebound. Michael left side to Vandewater. Top of the key, Martin, back to Vandewater. Here's Michael around the horn right side to George Jones, the 4th. Jones back to Michael, 20 on the shot clock, 11:37 to play in the half. Vandewater into the lane, and they're going to get a blocking foul on Devin Benson, and they're going to say that the Wildcat who had the basketball, which I believe was Vandewater, they're going to say was in the act of shooting and is going to get 2. First on big Devin Benson, 4th on the team, and a couple free throws coming up here for Zach Vandewater. His first free throws of the season. Vandewater, the sophomore from Warsaw, Indiana, too strong on the first. Mass substitutions for OCU, 3 of them. Kenny Cooper back in, Evan Bartlett back in, and Trayvon Carter. So the starting backcourt of Bartlett and Crater back in for OCU. Second free throw is good, so Vandewater splits a pair, give him 3, and it's 16-10. Indiana Wesleyan, the lead is 6. Bartlett across the timeline, hands it off to Trey Vaughn. Crater with it now for OCU. Crater shaking and baking, not getting very far, goes right baseline to Bartlett. Back out to Kenny Cooper, shot clock is at 15. OCU having some trouble here in the half court. Tony Stockman talked about it in the pregame, the importance of getting out and getting some baskets in transition, and Bartlett put it up and in there. Nicely done by Evan Bartlett. Offense wasn't getting very far. He said, I'll take it myself. 16-12. Double team right side. Jones the 4th goes cross court to Bettinger. Bettinger, top of the key, Vandewater, back to DJ, now left side, George Jones. Left baseline, it's Martin, back out, now back to Martin, looking underneath for Stauffer against Benson, banging, picks up his dribble, not much there, back out to Bettinger, 5 on the shot clock, 3 on the clock, can he get it up? He does, he put it in, and he was fouled. You gotta be kidding me. 1 on the shot clock. Trailblazers play pretty good defense again for 34 seconds, and Devin Benson picks up his second with 1 on the shot clock. His second, team 5th. Bucket is good for DJ Bettinger, who now has 5, and will look for 6 with the free throw here. Misses it, no good. Too strong, Nelson the defensive rebound. 18-12, OCU trailing by 6 as we near the 10-minute mark in this first half. And that pass stolen away. George Jones the fourth against Crater, and Crater blocked his shot. It goes out of bounds off Crater. It'll stay with Indiana Wesleyan. Good effort there by Trayvon Crater, who ran down George Jones the fourth and blocked his shot. 10:05 to play, first half. Bettinger looking, just does get it into Vandewater on the right baseline. Vandewater to the right wing and Bettinger. Now right baseline, it's Stauffer. Straight up, squares up against Nelson and then tries to spin and shoot. And Big James blocked his shot. Bettinger back out, shot clock does not reset, it's at 10. 9:45 to play, first half underneath George Jones, who took it right over Trey Vaughn and put it in. Nelson was in the vicinity, but he couldn't get there quick enough to contest that shot. It's 20-12, 9:30 to play first half. Tyler Schoen at the table. Taylor Schoen, he'll check in at the next dead ball. Widener is back at the table as well. Bartlett for 3, no good. Stauffer a defensive rebound. He has played solid in the absence of the All-American Patrick Hopkins. Left side 3 by Aaron Martin is no good. Offensive rebound, Indiana Wesleyan. Underneath Martin, right side it's Stauffer. Back out to Jones, and Stauffer nearly threw that one away as he was lackadaisical with that pass from the right wing to outside the three-point line. Couple substitutions for Indiana Wesleyan. Back in is Taylor Schoen. And Widener is back in as well. Widener picked up here by a couple Trailblazers, splits the double team, setting up Bettinger. Back to Widener. 3 is in, and he was fouled. The foul is on Kenny Cooper. Score the basket for Widener. Widener now with 9 in this first half. Foul on Kenny Cooper is his second, team 6th. And a free throw here for Widener is up and in. 10 points for Widener. It's 24-12. Indiana Wesleyan. Trailblazers not getting much in transition and having all kinds of trouble in the half-court set. Russell dumps it off to Nelson. Little 6-footer, too strong, and the rebound taken away by Stauffer. Big James backpedaling. Follow your shot, big fella. Taken away by Nelson out on the transition. Underneath James, pumps once, put it up and in. Was not on balance, but Nelson found a way to drop it in anyway. Big James with his first 2. 24-14, and there's a steal. Taken away by Crater to Nelson, put in, no! Nate Nelson a rebound, and he dropped it in. 2 quick ones for James Nelson, and Greg Tonigal wants a 30-second timeout. It's 24-16. We'll keep it right here. Aaron Martin, the 6'5 senior, going to check in at this timeout. So OCU, after getting down by a dozen, a quick 4-0 run by James Nelson, and it's 24-16. Our next broadcast will be Monday night as Great Lakes Christian College, much improved over the last couple seasons, will trek here to Circleville. That game slated for a 7:30 start. We'll go on the air with the pregame at 7:10. So again, that's next Monday, and then the Trailblazers get 11 days off for the Thanksgiving holiday. Their next game after Monday is not until Friday, November 30th at UC Claremont. We will trek down to Batavia to have that broadcast for you. It'll be an audio-only broadcast, so you'd have to click on the Listen Live links on the OCU website. So again, next Monday, live video against Great Lakes, and then November 30th, we'll be back on the air with an audio-only broadcast down in Batavia, 24-16. There's a steal by Nelson as he tried to get it over the outstretched hands of Nelson and did not do it. Cooper underneath, put it up and in, took it over Vandewater, and the sophomore Kenny Cooper with his first 2. 24-18. Backdoor Bettinger setting up Widener, took it right at the shot blocker Nelson, which is the right thing to do, but he could not finish. Trailblazers with an opportunity to cut it to 4, maybe 3. Russell, left side, Crater for 3, side of the iron, no good. Rebound, Indiana Wesleyan. Bettinger, right side, Vandewater, little stop and start into the lane, goes left baseline to Widener. Top of the key, Bettinger around the horn to Taylor Schoen. Vandewater got the step into the lane and he put it in. Absolutely no help. Vandewater got the step and everybody else not seeing basketball apparently because nobody there to help out the OCU defender there. It's 26-18. Top of the key, it's Wesley Russell. Crossover, left baseline now. It is Crater for 3. Side of the iron, no good. And Taylor Schoen, the flat-footed defensive rebound. 26-18. Left side, it's Aaron Martin. Around the horn to the right wing and Vandewater. Back to Martin, left baseline, it's Widener who moves very well without the basketball. Top of the key, Vandewater, straightaway 3 is right there. 8 points for the sophomore from Warsaw, Indiana. Came in shooting 50% on threes and has not disappointed in that category as he just hit a triple there. It extends the lead back to double digits. It's 11 and Crater just had his pocket picked by Bettinger. Out on the run, underneath, they try to get it to Schoen who put it up and in. Nice interior pass from Aaron Martin to Taylor Schoen, and the senior from Oxford, Indiana. A bruiser, according to their head coach Greg Tonigal, that brings his pail to work every day. Pops one in, it's 31-18, and Russell just shuffled his feet. Milan Kostov back in for OCU. Sitting down is Trayvon Crater. Crater sits scoreless. Milan returns scoreless, 31-18. Wildcats by 13. 5:24 to play in an energetic first half for both teams. Though neither team shooting the lights out, it's a 31-18 game. Trailblazers have played some pretty good defense on some series here. Credit Indiana Wesleyan for being patient. This is not one of them as Stauffer got free and dropped it in. Somebody must have been screened. There was nobody within 6 feet of Parker Stauffer underneath the basket. It's 33-18. Right side, Russell off a screen from Nelson. Russell looking underneath for Nelson. Nelson takes it up and drops it in. And you could hear Tony Stockman yelling that play. He wanted the big fella to get a touch there. James sealed well. Give Russell credit for getting it to the big man who finished strong. Stauffer left side to Vandewater. Vandewater underneath to Stauffer, who took it at Nelson and put it in. You would ask, how does Stauffer get a shot up at 6'7"? He's not as big as James, and the answer is the secret for a big man. You use your body. He kept his body between him and the shot blocker, and Big James couldn't get a hand on it. 35-20, 4 minutes to play first half. Trailblazers need a couple good possessions here as they trail by 15. Nelson left baseline, Kostov for 3, got it! Little dribble drive, set that up by Wesley Russell. Kostov with his first points, it's 35-23. Stauffer and his shot blocked by Nelson. To the other end, Russell for 2 more. Wesley Russell with 4, it's 35-25. Kenny Cooper applying some full court pressure. Broken this time by the Wildcats. Stauffer again squares up, takes a look at Nelson. To Bettinger, Vandewater left side, it's Martin. Back out to the point guard, Vandewater. Point guard Bettinger, I beg your pardon, right side. It is Vandewater to Stauffer. Back out to Bettinger, a long 3. Right side of the iron, no good. Jones an offensive rebound, and Nelson blocked another shot. 35-25, under 3 minutes to play first half. Trailblazers trail by 10. Left side, Stauffer against Nelson into the lane. No, they're going to call a jump ball. Wow. Big James looks tired, working hard out there. I think he almost wanted to commit a foul to stop the play as he needed a breather, and instead of getting called for a foul, Big James forces a jump ball, and the possession arrow will keep it with Indiana Wesleyan. Shot clock does not reset when the offensive team gets the possession arrow unless it's under 15, so it stays at 19. Inbound to Darian Michael. Michael to the right side, George Jones the fourth. Back out to Widener. Between the circles, Vandewater. Now left side, Michael, who's checked in. To Stauffer, who takes it at Benson. Spins baseline and put it in. Parker Stauffer has been huge in this first half. 8 points off the bench. He knew Benson had 2. He knew Benson didn't want a third, and so he took it right at the big fella, and he spun baseline away from the help, and he put it in. 2:28 to play first half. 37-25. Trailblazers trail by 12. We'll take a 60-second timeout. It's OCU and IWU, and there's only one place to watch it. It's here on the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
Nice.
Oops. Yeah, sure. Let's go. Moms everywhere are finding ways to keep kids active and healthy.
Works every time.
Get ideas, get involved, get going at letsmove.gov.
Ohio Christian University offers accredited, career-focused undergraduate and graduate degree programs for busy adults. Classes are convenient, offered online or evenings and weekends at our 12 locations. OCU will prepare you for your next step and help you discover your higher purpose.
We invite you to attend Ohio Christian University.
.228 to play first half. Trailblazers down a dozen, 37-25. And as Tony Stockman told us in the pregame interview, if you missed it, he said one thing about our guys, Rick, they will play hard. And they have played hard here in the first half. Right side, it's Russell. Not a lack of effort that has got them down a dozen. Milan Kostov picked up by Darian Michael. Nearly a 5-second call. He gets it to Russell. Russell off a screen from Benson. Had it slap loose. Back to Kostov. Shot clock into single digits. Dumps it off to Benson, who flushed it with 2 hands. Milan Kostov to Devin Benson. Wham! With a 2-handed jam. And I think they're going to call a delay of game maybe on Milan Kostov after the dunk by Devin Benson that gets this building a little bit fired up. Big fella took it strong with 2 hands. Set up beautifully by Milan Kostin, who got into the lane, and everybody converged on him. 37-27, minute 40 to play first half. Right side, it's George Jones the fourth. Widener, left wing now, it's Darian Michael, picked up by Trey Vaughn. Right side, it's Vandewater, picked up there by Evan Mills. Shot clock is at 7. George Jones the fourth going to try to make something happen. Widener, 2 on the clock, puts it up and hits again. That is at least the third possession where the Wildcats have hit with 1 second on the shot clock. 39-27. Trailblazers are playing good D. But again, Indiana Wesleyan patient, and they're finding something late in the shot clock. Kostov nearly threw it away as he left his feet. Trey Vaughn, under a minute to play first half, 39-27. Special halftime interview coming up with the OCU head coach Dave Hopewell, volleyball coach, fresh off their trip to the national tournament a week ago. Russell to heave with 2 on the clock, hit the backside of their backboard and nearly dropped in. 39-27, lead is 12. About a 4-second differential between shot clock and game clock, so Indiana Wesleyan can't hold it for the final shot of the half. Left side, it's Vandewater, picked up by Evan Mills. Now left side, Trey Vaughn. Shot clock again, now at 10. Kostoff going to try to guard their leading scorer, and they're going to call a what? Carry. Widener caught it on his hip, and Frank Vitt right on top of it and says he carried the basketball. 39-27, 11.4 seconds to play in the first half. Trey Vaughn will inbound right in front of the OCU bench. Clock starts as soon as Russell touches it. 9 seconds left, now 7. Russell going to work against George Jones the 4. 3 seconds left. Vaughn, 2 seconds, going to try to step through and fire a 3. It nearly went down. Got a pretty good look as he threw up a fake and then stepped through and raised up on a 3, but it did not stay down. Halftime here at the Maxwell Leadership Center, where Indiana Wesleyan, ranked number 4 in the latest NAIA polls, has come into the home opener, hostile territory here in Circleville, Ohio, and they lead by 12, 39-27. Coming up the halftime show, a look at the first half numbers, and as we said, a special halftime interview with the head coach of the Lady Trailblazer volleyball team, Dave Hopewell, to kind of recap on a record-setting season for the Lady Trailblazers. That's coming up after this timeout. Guys, let's take a 3-minute break here on the halftime show. Some first half numbers coming up next here on the OCU Trailblazer Basketball Network.
I knew that attending Ohio Christian University
would prepare me for whatever lies ahead.
What I didn't know is how I would pay for my education.
I wondered how complex the process was and if I would be eligible to receive financial aid.
Well, that's when I found the OCU Financial Aid website.
At Ohio Christian, the process is simple.
The OCU Financial Aid website provided me with the information I needed to start and complete the process. I learned how to fill out my free application for federal student aid. Soon after completing my FAFSA, an Ohio Christian Financial Aid counselor determined which aid was available for me and answered all my questions about my options.
Options like grants and work study,
Student loans and scholarships.
An Ohio Christian University education is within my reach.
If you are concerned about finances, as I used to be, I encourage you to take the next step. Fill out your FAFSA today.
For assistance, call Ohio Christian University at 1-877-7-OCU-NOW or visit us at ohiochristian.edu.
Getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family. Go to discovertheforest.org.
Did you buy the flashlight and the batteries?
Yes.
Did you make sure we're not missing anything in the first aid kit?
Yep.
Did you go through the plan with the kids again?
Yes.
The more you prepare today, the more you'll be able to reduce the devastating effects of a tornado, an earthquake, a power outage, or any other disaster. Get a kit, make a plan, be informed. Visit ready.gov.
This log. Yeah. Whoa! I like the big black ones. I like the brown wiggly ones.
I like the green crunchy ones myself.
Whoa.
Get out and explore nature. There's surprises everywhere. Go to discovertheforest.org.
Anyone up for dessert?
Back here in the Maxwell Leadership Center, Rick Cooper and the Trailblazer Basketball Network. It is 39-27 Indiana Wesleyan by a dozen here at the break. Trailblazers got off to an early lead. They led 9-3. Indiana Wesleyan answered with a big run. They have taken the lead and not relinquished it. They lead 39-27 here at the break. And looking at some scoring numbers in this first half. First of all, for the visiting team from Marion, Indiana, Jordan Widener, a game-high 12 points in that first half. 8 apiece for Parker Stauffer, Zach Vandewater, 5 in that first half for their point guard, sophomore DJ Bettinger. George Jones, the fourth, popped in 4 off the bench, and Taylor Schoen with a field goal off of Greg Tonagle's bench as well. Indiana Wesleyan 5 of 8 from the free throw line for 63%. For OCU, 8 different Trailblazers scored. James Nelson, 6 points off the bench, 4 apiece for Devin Benson and Wesley Russell. Trey Vaughn had 5, including the first 3 in about the first 10 seconds of this game. Wesley Russell 4, Milan Kostov 3, Evan Bartlett, Kenny Cooper had a field goal apiece, and Jimmy Horton, the freshman from Cleveland, split a pair of free throws in that first half. OCU 2 of 6 from the charity stripe for only 33%. Halftime here in the Maxwell Leadership Center, 39-27 is our score. When we come back, Dave Hopewell going to join us, the head coach of the OCU Lady Volleyball team, the Trailblazer volleyball team that just had a record-setting season that ended with the national tournament in Orlando, Florida. And we'll talk about that national championship run with Dave Hopewell after this 2-minute timeout here on the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
There are so many fun things we all can do to be healthier, no matter who you are or where you are. So let's move.
Oh, here we go.
Let's stretch in the grass.
What a play.
Let's play tag.
Wow, unbelievable.
Let's jump up and down.
Oh, what a way to finish it.
And most of all, let's eat better so that we have the energy we need to play an hour a day, every day.
Everyone can play. Just go to letsmove.gov to learn more.
Cotton balls. Duct tape. Spoon. Needle. Thread. Scalpel.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
A bright future starts with a healthy lifestyle. Good nutrition and physical activity are fuel for your child's mind and body.
Attaboy, Pinot.
And the food pyramid will help you find the right balance. Just remember, every color, every day.
Nothing can stop me now.
Eat right.
Here's an apple.
Be active.
Come on, I'll race you home.
Make it balanced.
This calls for a celebration.
A healthy lifestyle can lead to great things for your child. Visit mypyramid.gov to learn more.
Leadership Center, Rick Cooper and the Trailblazer Basketball Network. We're in halftime where Indiana Wesleyan leads 39-27 in the home opener, and delighted to have Dave Hopewell, the energetic second-year head coach for the OCU Lady Trailblazers, join us. You were in here the first half, right, Coach?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Give me some analysis from a volleyball coach on the first 20 minutes. What did you see?
I can tell you that much. I'm not much of a basketball player. That's why I stuck to volleyball.
Anything?
I mean, you can tell Indiana Wesleyan, they're a bigger team. Their defense is very, very strong. So we can't push the hole like I know it looks like we want to.
Right.
So they got to find some way to work the ball around and open up the inside lanes a little bit.
Hopefully it opens up. So big year for you guys on the hardwood. I guess we still call it the hardwood, right? And let's before we talk national tournament and all that, let's kind of just backpedal. You know, it didn't get off to a great start. Right. You lost to Moody early in the year. You lost 6 out of 7 to KCU in terms of sets. So kind of tell us the beginning, the struggles, and then maybe how things turned out.
We had a very unique team in itself, and so I set up our schedule very dynamically where we would see a lot of very good opponents nationally. So we played Toccoa Falls, we played Lancaster Bible, they've been in the top 15 all year. We played Moody Bible, top 10 all year. Kentucky Christian, top 5 all year. And so I spread out our schedule so we would see different competition. With the trips we took, we went to D.C., we went to Grand Rapids, we did a big Tennessee trip. So that it would open up the girls' eyes a little bit more than what we've done in the past.
Okay.
So that we could see more nationally recognized teams. But when we get to the tournament, you realize how much more we really got to see.
So KCU, you play down in Grayson.
Yeah.
They take 3 in a row.
Right, you're really fast games too.
Okay, it's over, and
the scores looked really, bad for us because it didn't look like we put up much of a fight. But I'll tell you what, when we played them at their place, it was point for point till about 15, 16, and then they had one run and closed us out. And so it left a really bad taste in my girls' mouth. So all year they're like, we play them again and we will play them again. So they knew what we were getting ourselves into.
Sure.
So my goal was every game just to get that one match better.
And you did.
And we did.
I mean, with them, they came in here, and how much momentum you lost? You won 1, you lost 3 out of 4.
And every game we played here was so tight. They were super close games, and so that's what I wanted them to see, that they were human. The OCU has not beaten Kentucky Christian in probably 5 or 6 years. My first year, we beat them all the regional play, and then during the regional tournament, we lost them in the finals, just like we did. Just the exact opposite of this last regional tournament. So since then, we haven't taken a game from them.
Is that right?
And so coming out from that, I was like, guys, they need to know they're human first. And so once we took that match at home and then coming into the regional tournament, the girls wanted it so bad. And
what was the environment? I was not here, but I heard it was pretty electric.
It was very lively. The girls, we got more pumped up in the locker room than we have all year. So the girls came on the court very, very determined. And our fans knew it was at stake too. So it was not a soul on their butts the whole time. They were on their feet the entire game.
Now, I know that you picked up Daniel Whitebird from KCU this year, and I know interviewing you and talking to you this week that she was one of a couple of them that said, Coach, I've been to the national tournament, and I don't plan on changing that. And was it Olivia Davis that kind of came in with that?
Yeah, it was kind of funny. A freshman who says, I want to go to the national tournament, and all the other classmen kind of chuckle like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. But that attitude is what really changed our team, because it was a never let down, never die attitude, and it was, I don't care who we face, we're going to play. We have the potential to play.
Right. And so Davis, let's talk a little bit about her. You have all these, the Ashbacher girls. Whitebird has a great year. A lot of people step up, but it's your true freshman from here in Grove City that gets second-team All-American. What made Olivia Davis have such a special season?
Davis is one of those girls that she came in and lucky to have, and I put a lot of work into her. She came in very athletic, and so a lot of it was just recognizing her skill ability. So we worked a lot on her defense and her blocking. So her blocking led to her. She's been top 3 blocking in the entire nation all year long, which is not easy to do compared to any school that we play. She was loads above everybody else. So that led to a huge year for her. And then on her offense itself, she was able just to turn it on when we needed her to.
Sure.
She was able to get those crucial kills, and she's so versatile in the net. She can run the middle. She's able to go side to side whenever I need her. So she knows how to find an opening.
You could just see her athleticism. I saw it the night they did the Moonlight Madness in here, and I just saw her today at a practice before this game, and I mean, there's just things that she seems she can do that maybe you can't teach to other girls. There's got to be some.
And so a lot of what we work on
God-given ability.
Refine her skills, so she's so naturally talented. It's saying, how do we take this to the next step? How do I, make you better than what you already are?
So let's talk the national tournament then. You pull this monumental upset against a team you haven't beaten at regionals, KCU, all the momentum, everybody's excited, but you also have the challenge then of not just being happy that you're there. I mean, we've got this big win. Now let's do something good with it. Your thoughts on, you finished 1-3. Your thoughts looking back on the national tournament?
Debriefing from my time back, there's so much that I learned. If I had an hour, I could talk to you for an hour about it. The basic things that I learned is that once our season is done, to keep the competition level very hot is very important. We did not have any competitions, any matches after our regional tournament.
Okay.
We practice very hard, but it's not the same. I play volleyball, so I play against the girls, and I'm hitting them with everything I got. So my shoulder's a mess after that week, but there's no continuous tournament. There's no competition. And so coming in, it took us an entire day to adjust to be like, okay, we're back at a high-level competition. Let's finish out Thursday night or Friday with the same sort of intensity.
And you didn't have the luxury of sitting around watching a couple matches to get accustomed, acclimated. It was Thursday, 10 a.m. You're on the course. Welcome to the national championship.
Thursday, first match Friday against the 2 hardest teams there, except for Clearwater. I mean, we just got thrown right in, and acclimating the girls did so well. So, and the first 2 sets Lincoln took from us very easily, but then the girls kind of were like, all right, we got to do something.
Right.
And so we finally put up some good competition in that 3rd set, but lost 25-23 in the final minutes of that set.
What was the thing you take in that national tournament that you're most proud of with the girls on this record-setting season?
I mean, honestly, getting there, I think the girls who went will come into this next season with an attitude that cannot be taught or replaced. The attitude they come in will want them wanting that so much more, and that's something I can never teach them.
Absolutely.
So that's the biggest thing.
And you build on it, right? I mean, it's building every year, 3 steps forward, 2 steps back. And,
exactly.
Man, we took about 6 forward this year, and
we did.
It was fun watching you at the tournament, and congrats on a great year. Let's do it again next season.
Appreciate it.
That's Dave Hopewell, pride of Groveport, Ohio, fellow resident of the village of Groveport, and the head coach of the Lady Trailblazers. Took them to the national tournament for the first time in school history. First ever regional championship by a women's program in any sport here at OCU, which part of that record-setting season as well. Appreciate his time, and we'll talk to some of the other coaches throughout the year as well here on the Trailblazer Basketball Network. 39-27. Benson with a nice spin move that gets the second half underway. Benson playing with 2 fouls for OCU. Kenny Cooper with 2. Patrick Hopkins, that 2-time NAIA All-American that I told you about, has yet to score. He was plagued with 2 fouls as well. Left side, it's Widener who has delivered. Their leading scorer at 16.8 a game, had 12 in that first half. Right side 3 came up short, and the basketball goes out of bounds back to OCU. So Trailblazers hanging around. They trail 39-29. Just underway here in the second half. Rick Cooper and Fairfield Digital Media. Delighted you've decided to join us tonight for a good one. Between the circles, it's Trayvon, left side now, and Trayvon Crater. Crater off a screen. Crater into the lane, put it up and in. And Hopkins just a little bit cautious. And once he had the caution a little bit, Trayvon Carter able to attack him and drop it in. Hopkins into the lane, blocked his shot, did Kenny Cooper. 39-31, 18-36 to play second half. Widener to inbound underneath his own basket, and the ball was kicked. No resets. Shot clock will stay at 24. 18-35 now to play in the game. Widener, or I beg your pardon, finally getting free was Hopkins. On a screen, he was all alone at the left block for his first 2. 41-31, the lead is 10. Carter again, Crater, I beg your pardon, into the lane, put it up and in again. And Widener puts a look on his face as if to say, I played pretty good D. How did he put that one in? 4 points for Crater. 41-33, with it left side is Vandewater. Back out to Hopkins around the horn to the right side, and Widener. Widener guarded tightly by Crater, the freshman from St. Vincent St. Mary. Underneath now, Hopkins a touch. Hopkins had it blocked, but they're going to call a foul on Devin Benson. Foul on Benson. And that's number 3 on the big fella, Devin Benson. So we'll see what Tony Stockman elects to do here at the 17:50 mark. And he's going to bring big James Nelson in as Hopkins heating up, hits the first free throw. So he's got 3 quick ones here in the opening 2:10 of the second half. Patrick Hopkins, 6'7", senior from Kokomo, Indiana, their strongest player. And the second one is good again, 4-4. Patrick Hopkins, 7 of 10 for 70% at the stripe for the 2-time All-American. 43-33. Right side, it's Trayvon. Vaughn to Nelson, right baseline. Nelson backing down Hopkins, and he lost the basketball in the process. Quick outlet to the other end with 2 hands. It's Aaron Martin, the senior from Rossville, with a 2-handed jam, and his first 2 points of the game. There's a steal by Vandewater. Widener to the other end was blocked, but he will shoot 2. Foul is going to be charged to Trayvon Crater. It's his first, team second, and a couple free throws coming up here for Widener. And a dunk set up by James Nelson, putting the dribble drive James about 18 feet away from the basket on that right baseline and put it on the floor. Not sure if that's what Tony Stockman has in the offensive set or not. Usually James more of a back to the basket at 6'8" at the block. Second free throw is good again for Widener. Give him 14. And this is up to 14. It's 47-33, and there's another steal taken away by Vandewater. Vandewater to Hopkins just off that left block. Three ball on the way is right there by Aaron Martin. He was all alone in the left wing, and Tony Stockman wants a full timeout. Things snowballing a little bit here in the Leadership Center. 16:58 to play, second half. Indiana Wesleyan 50, OCU 33. We'll take a break as well. This is the OCU Trailblazer Basketball Network.
Uh-oh, Vince. They're really cracking down on safety belts these days.
What's up, officer?
I'm giving you a ticket for committing an 811.
Safety belt violation.
Compliments of Barney Fife. We never wear safety belts. We're dummies.
Weisenheimers.
He gave us a ticket.
Man's got to do what he's got to do.
Packers. Viking. Packers. Viking. Viking.
Red state, blue state, vegan.
Carnivore.
We come from different places.
Uptown. Downtown.
Optimist.
We come to different conclusions.
Half empty.
Half full.
But when we live united, we create real, lasting change in the building blocks of life. The education, income, and health of our communities,
Live.
our families,
United.
even the person next to us.
Live united.
Real change won't happen without you. So give, advocate, volunteer, live united. Sign up at liveunited.org.
50-33, Indiana Wesleyan by 17, 16:58 to play in the game. IWU trying to blow this thing wide open. Trailblazers trying to keep it close. Little mini run here, they'd be right back in it. Russell is checked in for OCU, so is Jimmy Horton, the freshman from Cleveland. Looks like Evan Mills, he is checked in as well. Russell, 2 Mills, 3 left side, no good. Nelson tried to keep it alive. Hopkins saved it under the OCU bench and lived to talk about it. That's a no-no normally. Vandewater with it for Indiana Wesleyan. Top of the key to DJ Bettinger, who is in no hurry. Talking to head coach Greg Tonigal, he says we're very opportunistic. On left side, left hand by Hopkins, no good. Left side, it's Widener, now guarded by Mills. Back out left side to Martin, top of the key Bettinger, around the horn to Vandewater. He finds Martin, who caught it at the right block and put it in. 7, all of them here in the second half for Aaron Martin, and it's 52-33. OCU trailing by 19. Russell got the step and was pushed. I think they're going to say this was on the floor. Russell never shot the basketball, but was in the process. They're going to charge the foul to Vandewater. It's his first, team first here in the second half. Substitutions as Stauffer is back in. So is Taylor Schoen. Schoen back with 2. Stauffer had a great first 20 minutes, 8 points. Hopkins will sit down. Aaron Martin sits down as well. 15:46 to play. Looking to inbound is Jimmy Horton. Right side, it's Russell. Russell looking for big James Nelson, and now backs off to create a little bit more space, but hands it off to Horton. Horton caught it on his hip, no call. Fans screaming at Frank Vitt that are here from Indiana Wesleyan. Kostoff backdoor to Nelson, who threw it down with 2 hands. Again, set up by the dribble drive. Nelson was free, and a foul going to be called on Jimmy Horton, and it looked like, based on Tony Stockman's reaction, that OCU was supposed to be in full court man, but only one Trailblazer down there guarding 2 guys. Now in some full court man is Wesley Russell trying to hound Widener. Left side, it's DJ Bettinger. To the right side now. This is Vandewater into the lane, drops it off to Stauffer, who pumps once. Nelson blocked his first attempt, and then Nelson grabs the rebound on the second miss. Kostoff into the lane, put it up, no good. Tip, no good. Nelson got it again, put it in, and he was fouled. Score the basket for Big James Nelson. Bucket is good. The foul is going to be charged to number 13, DJ Bettinger, the point guard who came down slapping and swinging. Basket for James Nelson. Give him 10, and he'll look for 11 with the free throw here. So the Trailblazers, again, who just a moment ago looked like they were on the verge of destruction and collapse, have rallied back again. It's 52-37. 14:45 to play in the game. Between the circles, it's Taylor Schoen. Now to the right side, it's Stauffer. Hands it off to Widener, who's picked up by Nelson on the switch. Bettinger a three, no good. Stauffer an offensive rebound, and he could have put it up. Big James was nowhere to be found, and they're going to get a push on Jimmy Horton from behind near the left elbow. That was kind of a bizarre play, as aggressive as Parker Stauffer has been tonight, fearless, taking it near the rim. He got an offensive rebound there just off the left block and never looked at the basket. He looks at it here, coming off a screen, a quick catch, and he dropped it in. 10 points, that's 2 times here in the second half that the bigs from Indiana Wesleyan have got an easy hoop on a simple inbounds play. 54-37, offensive foul, Jimmy Horton, and that's number 4. Trying to create some space. It's his 4-team 5th, and back into the game is Evan Bartlett, the OCU point guard, as Jimmy Horton has to sit down with those 4 personal fouls. Bartlett going to try to apply some heat to DJ Bettinger, the freshman, as we said, from Richfield, Ohio, Revere High School. Left side, it's Vandewater. Vandewater fires from 15 on the rim, no good. Ball slapped out of bounds off Stauffer and or Schoen, and it'll go back to the Trailblazers. Here comes George Jones, the 4th. As Vandewater will sit down. Jones, the 4th, back in with 4. Vandewater sits down with 8. 13:50 to play in the game. Trailblazers trailing by 17. Right side, it's Wesley Russell. Top of the key, Evan Mills. Now left of center, it's Bartlett. Nelson gonna fire a 3. Backside of the iron, no good. And a rebound by Stauffer. Looking to run are the Wildcats. And Russell took it out of the hands of one of those Wildcats. And they're gonna get Wesley for a reach. And can you tell by the reaction of the fans that they don't approve this message? Foul on Wesley Russell is his first, team 6th already. And apparently they're going to say Jones was in the act of shooting as well. And they're going to give the southpaw 2 free throws, the first of which spins around and drops in. George Jones, the 4th, one of 3 guys that averaged double digits a season ago that came back, and they're going to get a push, a loose ball foul on the miss, and that's going to be charged to Parker Stauffer, his first, team 3rd. Jones, the 4th, only averaging 3.6 this year. Tore his Achilles late in the season a year ago, and talking to head coach Tonagel, he said, we're bringing him back slowly. He's close to being at 100%, but that's why some of his scoring numbers have dropped down here early. 13:12 to play in the game. Kostoff caught it on his hip. Fans want to travel again. That wasn't called. Mills into the lane, no good. And a rebound by Jones, the 4th, for Indiana Wesleyan. Crossover by Widener to the rim, and a shot blocked by Evan Mills. OCU had it, lost it underneath. Stauffer, and a shot blocked up high. And they're going to call a foul on Evan Mills. It may have been body. I hope he says body. Nope, they're going to say on the arm. I'm not sure there was any contact up high. Maybe some body down low, but I was hoping the referee would gesture a block, something like that. I would give him the benefit, but when he went to the hold or the hit up top as his call, I lose my allegiance right there. First free throw is up and in. Parker Stauffer has been a factor in this game off of Greg Tonagle's bench. Widener will sit down for IWU. It's 56-37. One more coming up here for number 24, Parker Stauffer, a criminal justice major. And the second free throw, good again, give him a dozen. Tony Stockman using that free throw break to get in Frank Vitt's ear a little bit. Left side, it's Evan Mills. Mills around the horn to Kostoff. Off a Mills screen, nothing there still. Kostoff lost it, but Wesley Russell right there to grab it. 57-37, left baseline Bartlett. Back out to Russell, and what? Tony Stockman wants a timeout. At the 12:28 mark, he wants to bring Trey Vaughn back in. It's a 30, we'll keep it right here. Can tell you the OCU women split last week up at Moody, and they are traveling to Valley Forge this next weekend. 3 tough games against Valley Forge women, against the BBC PA women, Baptist Bible College out of Clark Summit, PA, and maybe the most difficult test, Drew Watson and the Southeastern Fire in town from Lakeland, Florida. Drew, the former AD and women's coach at Philadelphia Biblical University, going to bring his team back to his old stomping ground. So the OCU women with 3, they will leave tomorrow, play Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. As we said, OCU men get 6 days off. They do not play till next Monday, November 19th, and here in this building, a 7:30 tip against Great Lakes. We'll have it for you with live video. Airtime with the pregame is set for 7:10. Out of the 30, Trey Vaughn does check back in. Russell right side, fading away, just hit a tough shot. And Wesley with a half dozen. It's 57-39. Darian Michael is checked in for Indiana Wesleyan. Little stop and start. Martin to the rim, he put it in, and he was fouled. And Tony Stockman not happy with somebody as he's sending Milan Kostoff right back to the bench. Nelson, or right to the table, I should say, to check in. First foul on Nelson, 8th on the team. And that person he is not happy with is Trey Vaughn, who will check out. Bucket is good for Aaron Martin. He's got 9, and he'll look for 10 here with the free throw. Martin with 10, all of them here in 8 minutes of the second half. 12 minutes exactly to play. It's 60-39. OCU trailing by 21. Right side, it's Wesley Russell. Russell guarded tightly by George Jones IV. Now some space as Wesley retreats. Left baseline, Bartlett will fire a 3, and he hits it. Second field goal of the game for the freshman from Huber Heights. And it's 60-42, the lead down to 18. And there's a steal by Bartlett. He picked the pocket of Michael, who put it up. No, tipped by Russell, no good. Russell again, he dropped it in. 8 for Wesley Russell. 60-44, DJ Bettinger quickly pops off Greg Tonagle's bench. The point guard is coming in at the next dead ball. Trailblazer fans pleading for a stop defensively. Jones the 4th, left side. The southpaw picks up his dribble, nearly threw it away. 10 on the shot clock. Shown to the basket, deflected. Stauffer got an offensive rebound, and he kept it high and dropped it in. Young players, did you see what he did right there? Never brought it down. Caught, got the rebound, kept it high, and then dropped it right back in. Russell to the basket, dropped it in. Wesley Russell heating up. 3 field goals here in the second half, 10 for the game. 62-46, lead is 16 as we near 10 minutes to play in the game. Right baseline, Stauffer dumps it off to Jones the 4th, who put it in. 7 for George Jones the 4th. 64-46. Milan Kostoff between the circles, it's Russell. Left side, Kostoff, little dribble drive into the lane, tough shot over the extended arm of Parker Stauffer, he put it in. 5 for Kostoff, 3 in the first, 2 here in the second. 64-48. Taylor shown to Michael. Left side, Martin, who has had a great second half. Martin, right side, it's shown. Back out to Martin, 13 on the clock. Trailblazers have played great D in spurts. Let's see if they can finish here. 6 on the shot clock, 5, it's taken away, or is it? Shot clock should have never reset, 1 on the clock. Jones to beat the buzzer, it never hit the rim. That's a violation, it sure is. Jones heaved it from about 30 feet, and that thing never hit the rim, and so that's a violation. It's a turnover, and basketball will go back to OCU. Frank Vitt coming over to the table. And I think the question was, did it ever go off? That's what Frank Vitt was asking. And John Gurney in there as well saying, I never heard it, but definitely a violation. 64-48, 9:10 to play in the game. So need to get a little extra juice to that horn, apparently, that violation horn. Nelson with it, back out between the circles, it's Russell. Wesley to fire a 3, back of the iron, no good, and Hopkins the rebound. And I don't think Tony Stockman happy with that shot, but there's a steal by Russell, and they're gonna get a block or a hold on DJ Bettinger. Second foul on Bettinger, 4th in the team, non-shooting foul. So OCU will inbound underneath their own basket. Here comes Widener, he's back with 14. Aaron Martin will sit down with 9. Martin, a 4-year starter, finance major that has scored all 9 of those here in the second half. The inbound is Bartlett, left side to Russell. 8:45 to play in the game. 17-footer by Russell, no good. Mills an offensive rebound, his putback no good. And Hopkins comes in and snags the defensive rebound. But his outlet pass taken away. Looking to run, Bartlett right side. If they give him a good pass, Bartlett can shoot that. Instead it was a bounce pass that bounced 2 times before it got to Bartlett, and he didn't have time to raise up and shoot it. 8:20 to play in the game. 64-48. Mills to Bartlett. Off a Nelson screen, will fire a 3, and he hits it! Big James created that space. The big 6'8" senior from Dayton came out there and obstructed things with that screen. Lead is 13. It's all about stops at this point. Hopkins, yes, and he was fouled. Score the bucket. The foul is going to be charged to Nelson. It's his second, points 5 and 6 for Hopkins. And I'll tell you what Hopkins did there. Not only did he use his body to shield the basketball away from the defender, he said, I'm going to give a little extra security, and I'm going to go to the left hand as well. And as good of a shot blocker as Big James Nelson is, the body plus the left hand, he couldn't get to the basketball, and he committed a foul, and Hopkins makes him pay with the free throw as well. 7:54 to play in the game. 67-51 Indiana Wesleyan, a 60-second timeout. This is the OCU Trailblazer Basketball Network.
Coming home can be hard if you're a veteran of Iraq or Afghanistan. You may feel like you're all alone, but you're not alone. At IAVA.org, your fellow vets are all around you. Join our free online community, get the resources you need, and connect to other vets who know where you're coming from. IAVA.org. We've got your back.
I'm Audrey. I'm Abby. I saved Audrey from drowning right here in this pool. I was 5. I was 4. And thank goodness for Abby, she just reached in and pulled me up.
I'll never forget the 2 little hands connecting.
That was Abby's little hand. We learned a technique in swim class that the Red Cross did. If I hadn't learned aquatic safety from the Red Cross, I wouldn't have been able to save my friend that day. I'm very grateful.
7:54 to play in the game, 67-51. This was a 12-point game at the intermission. Indiana Wesleyan has extended it to 16. I think their biggest lead may have been 18. I don't know that it got to 20, but it's 16 right now. And a hold going to be called on DJ Bettinger. His third, team fifth, non-shooting foul. Trailblazers will inbound on the side in front of the OCU fans. Frank Vitt waiting, and that Trailblazer is going to be sophomore Wesley Russell. Russell into the freshman point guard Evan Bartlett. Right side jumper by Mills is too strong. Schoen grabs the defensive rebound. 67-51. Right side, it's Widener, Hopkins, Schoen. Now left side, Vandewater got the step into the lane, and Devin Benson fouled him in the process. And that is number 4 on Benson. And 2 free throws coming up here for Vandewater. Benson was in the vicinity of playing help defense, but he was late. Instead of getting to a spot, maybe taking a charge, kind of took a casual swing at Vandewater when he went by him and committed a foul in the process. First free throw is good for Zach Vandewater, the sophomore from Whitco High School in Warsaw, Indiana. One more for Vandewater, an opportunity here to extend this lead to 18. Sights it, shoots it, and hits. Vandewater with 10, 69-51, 7:20 to play in the game. Right side, it's Wesley Russell between the circles. Backdoor Russell went to the left hand, no good. Tip up, no good by Mills, and Hopkins gets the rebound. Right side, Hopkins. Back out to Bettinger, left side, Vandewater. Top of the key shown, here's Widener, who gets it to Bettinger. Back out to Hopkins, 17 on the shot clock, and a hold as Bartlett was in all kinds of trouble against the bigger Vandewater near that right block. Not necessarily a bad play, as he could sense he was in that trouble. First foul on Bartlett. It is the team's 10th, which is of note, as IWU will shoot 2 free throws on every OCU foul the rest of the way. First free throw by Vandewater is good. Zach Vandewater with a dozen. 8 in the first, 3 in the second. DJ Bettinger, a quick breather as Kylan Doubles, the freshman from Kokomo, Indiana, has checked in. Kostoff sits for OCU. Second free throw for Vandewater is good. Give him a dozen. And it's 71-51. The lead is 20. 6:40 to play in the game. Left wing, it's Crater. Crater, little step back, nothing there. Goes right wing to Mills. Back to Crater. Picked up now by Taylor Schoen. Bartlett with it. Between the circles against Doubles. Left side, Russell for 3, no good, but he was hammered, and he will shoot 2. And I don't know what Vandewater was taking a glance at the referee, the umpire, John Gurney, for. He absolutely hammered Wesley Russell. You know, there's calls you can question, and then there's other calls where you absolutely plaster a guy, and that's what Vandewater did right there. It's his second, team 6th, and the first free throw by Wesley Russell is no good. He'll have 2 more. Trailblazers right now 2 of 8 at the charity stripe, make it 2 of 9. Doesn't take a Rhodes Scholar to figure out when you're playing against the number 4 team in the NAIA. 22% at the charity stripe isn't what the doctor ordered, and let's make it 2 out of 10 as Wesley Russell missed all 3 of them. 71-51, 6:15 to play in the game. Top of the key, it's Schoen. Left side, it's Vandewater. Picked up there by Mills. Back around to Schoen. Just off the right block, Hopkins, who tried to dump it off to Schoen. Lost it. Schoen got it back. Shot no good, but he was fouled, and he'll shoot 2. The foul is going to be charged to Evan Mills. It's his second. As we said, team over the limit. Couple free throws coming up here for Taylor Schoen from Benton Central High School in Oxford, Indiana. The first free throw is right there. 3 for Taylor Schoen. Kenny Cooper is back in. Trey Vaughn is back in. It's no guarantee Indiana Wesleyan with free throws. They have shot them real well coming in on some occasions, and 10 of 22 in their most recent outing against Cornerstone. And That's why their head coach, Greg Tonigal, said, Rick, we need to be more consistent in a lot of aspects of our game. Shot up and in by Evan Bartlett, who got the step and put it up and in, and he was fouled. Foul is going to be charged to number 10, Doubles. That's his first, team 7th. But to finish that thought, it wasn't just the free throw shooting. He says some days we're a real good free throw shooting team, sometimes we're not. Some days we play good defense, some days we don't. Some days we rebound, and some days we don't. And Tonigal saying, Rick, we got to be a lot more consistent if we're going to have the kind of success that we've had in recent years, talking about 25 wins a season during the Greg Tonigal era at Indiana Wesleyan. Second for the free throw is good. So now 3 of 11 are the Trailblazers from the charity stripe. 73-54, time now becoming a big, big factor in this game. The lead is 19. Trailblazers need stops, and they need them now. 15 on the shot clock. Tony Stockman wants a 3-second. Runner no good by Doubles, and rebound into the hands of Trey Vaughn. Vaughn back out between the circles. Into the hands of Bartlett, the point guard. Vaughn with it for OCU. Back to Bartlett. Back to Vaughn. A long 3. Left of the iron, no good. And George Jones, the 4th, with the defensive rebound. Deflected pass, taken away by Bartlett. OCU needs to run. Long outlet to Crater, who put it in. Nice outlet pass from Bartlett to a streaking Trayvon Crater. He hit him in stride. Crater went right to the basket and put it in. 73-56. Tony Stockman trying to dial up the defensive pressure a little bit, and Crater and Weidman collide, and I think they're going to get a foul on Trayvon Crater. And the foul on Crater is his 2nd. Team over the limit, so Jordan Widener, a 60% free throw shooter, will get 2 regardless of what he does here, and the first one drops in anyway. Indiana Wesleyan, 20 of 25 for 80%. Jordan Widener with 15 points in this game, had 23 points in the meeting in 2012 up in Marion, Indiana. 16 for Widener, 75-56, 4:37 to play in the game. Basketball still in the hands of Bartlett. Bettinger has checked in for Indiana Wesleyan. Bartlett back out to Crater. Crater, a blocking foul, I believe, going to be called here on Widener, who tried to stay with Trayvon Crater on that right wing, and that is going to be the call. Foul on Crater is only his first, Indiana Wesleyan's 8th, and so a 1-and-1 opportunity coming up here for the freshman from Akron, Ohio, and as we said in the pregame, from St. Vincent St. Mary, and the first free throw pinballs around and kicks out. Rebound Indiana Wesleyan, 75-56. Lead is 19, and DJ Bettinger in all kinds of trouble. It picked up his dribble, and it was double teamed, and he calls a timeout. It's a 30. We'll keep it right here, 4:14 to play in the game. Coming up, the post-game show. We'll take a look at the final statistics, have an interview with Tony Stockman, and much more. That coming up on the post-game show after this one concludes in 4 minutes and 14 seconds, 75-56. The lead is 19. As we said, our next broadcast is Monday night. Great Lakes Christian College from Lansing, Michigan, from the Midwest region. Tony Stockman and the Trailblazers have already knocked off 2 from that region, talking about Gary Bailey and Grace Bible and number 3 ranked Kuiper College, both of those this past weekend, so why not? Let's knock off Great Lakes as well. 7:10 with the pregame, 7:30 the opening tip Monday night, and we will have that with live video. So hopefully if you can't be here in the Leadership Center, you'll tune in for that one. 75-56 coming out of the timeout. Right baseline at Stauffer, 1 dribble. Back out to Bettinger, left side it's Widener. 15 on the shot clock, 4 minutes exactly to play in the game. 75-56, Jones down that lane. Nelson may have got a hand on it. I beg your pardon, that was Crater, not Nelson. And George Jones, the fourth, dropped it in. He's got 9 points. 77-56, and a double dribble is going to be called on Trayvon Crater, and turnover back to Indiana Wesleyan. Here comes Evan Mills for OCU, and the first appearance for Garvin Hoy, the 6'3 junior from Kansas City Christian High School in Leawood, Kansas. 77-56, 3:43 to play in the game. Lead is 21. Right side, it's Garvin Hoy, who just checked in. Davis Jones, the fourth. Now left wing, Vandewater. Top of the key, DJ Bettinger. Right side three by Hoy, no good. Battle for the rebound, ends up in the hands of the point guard Bartlett. 3:15 to play. To the lane and put it up and in. Nicely done. They were playing the three. Weren't going to let Trey Vaughn get one up, so instead he put it on the dribble and took it to the basket for an easy two. 77-58. Indiana Wesleyan in no hurry, up 19. Just right of center, it's Hoy. Now left of center, it's Jones the fourth. Back to Hoy. Looking for Stauffer, who Benson pushes off that right block to the right baseline. Back out to Bettinger, 10 on the shot clock. 2:40 to play in the game. Off a screen, Bettinger back to Stauffer, who dropped it in with the right hand. That, my friends, is Carl Malone, John Stockton, two-man game right there. Beautifully done on the pick and roll to Parker Stauffer. .218 to play. Battle underneath and a rebound by Jones the fourth. Left side, it's Hoy. Three on the way, no good. Rebound into the hands of Bartlett, and what? Foul is going to be charged to 32 Vandewater. It's his third and the team's ninth. .204 to play in the game, 79-58. Indiana Wesleyan going to improve to 5-1. Trailblazers are going to drop to 3-2, and Bartlett with a 1-1 opportunity here. First one no good, ball out of bounds off Indiana Wesleyan. It'll stay with OCU. Indiana Wesleyan back in action on Saturday against Damon College, and then next Tuesday against Marion College, and then they will take a week off for the Thanksgiving break. Bartlett into Benson, 2 minutes exactly to play. 79-58, right baseline. Mills thought about a three, instead puts it on the floor, drops it off to Benson, lost it, got it back, and a foul is going to be charged. And it's going to be charged to Garvin Hoy, who tried to come down and provide some assistance from the perimeter. Foul on Garvin Hoy is his first, team 10th, and Devin Benson, 2 free throws coming up here. First free throw by Benson is right there. Trailblazers now 4 of 14 at the charity stripe tonight, and 29%. Second free throw for Benson is in and out, and a good box out there by Tyler Greathouse, who has checked in. Greathouse, 6'9" sophomore from Columbus, Indiana, that averages just about 5 points a game. Minute 40 to play. Lead is 20. 79-59. Left baseline, it's Vandewater. Zach Arrington is checked in as well. Where's number 42? Hoy threw it away there. Taken away by Mills, and a hold going to be called on Hoy as Trey Vaughn tried to work on that left wing. Foul on Garvin Hoy is his second, team 11th, and Trey Vaughn to the free throw line to shoot 2. Vaughn has been very quiet today. You take away his 3 to start this game, a quick 3 right off the jump ball, and he's had 5 points to this point, and this coming from a guy that had scored 20 in 3 of OCU's first 4 games. Second one for Vaughn, front of the rim, no good. And the rebound into the hands of Zach Arrington. Minute 20 to play. They have done a nice job on him, as did Gary Bailey and Grace Bible this past Saturday. Held him, I think, to 11 points in that 62-60 win. 79-60. 15 on the shot clock for the Wildcats. Right side, it's Vandewater, tried to dump it off and does to Arrington, who went to the left hand from the right block and could not finish. Under a minute to play, 48 seconds, Bartlett, Benson, right block, spun to the baseline, spun it on the rim, no good. Mills, an offensive rebound, is put back, nobody was fouled. Hoy, the guilty party yet again. It's his third. And 2 free throws here for Evan Mills. 39.3 left, 79-60. First free throw hits the left side of the iron, no good. Well, we talked to Tony Stockman. We're going to have to ask him about the free throws. I'm sure not pleased with the struggles at the charity stripe. Second one is good, so Mills splits a pair. He's in the books with his first point of this game. About a 4-second differential, shot clock to game clock. And there's a turnover there, or is it? Yes. Hoy was trying to go cross court. He was under all kinds of pressure and some miscommunication there. Turnover back to OCU.
Right into a 5, quick.
79-61. Tony Stockman calling out play 5, and he wants it quick. Underneath Benson, they tried to feed him, and Benson was falling out of bounds when he saved it in, and 15 seconds left. Wildcats don't have to shoot the ball. Vandewater on the right side, and he will not. Indiana Wesleyan going to improve to 5-1. OCU drops to 3-2, and IWU does it in impressive fashion here in the Leadership Center. They win 79-61. Coming up, the post-game show, we'll take a look at all the final numbers, check in with Tony Stockman to get his thoughts on tonight's loss to Indiana Wesleyan as well. That coming up after this 2-minute timeout. Indiana Wesleyan 79, Ohio Christian 61. This is the OCU Trailblazer Basketball Network.
I didn't need help from anybody. I was good at everything. And this, the drugs and the alcohol, I couldn't stop doing it. I went down a path of destruction, just about escaping the feelings. I never used one without the other. It was chaos. Dump trucks, insanity plowed into us. I know it was the devil. I actually got suspended from baseball. I said, I need help, but I can't do it anymore. I fell on my own. You do with me what you want to do with me, but I surrender.
Explore new worlds. Read. Visit literacy.gov and let the journey begin.
So my uncle calls and he says he's dizzy and he's losing his balance. I'm like, Unc, you want me to take you to a doctor? He's like, no, I'm gonna look up the symptoms. I said, your symptoms are you're dizzy and you're losing your balance. So he said, I can't get on the internet because my arm is numb. I said, well, use your good arm and dial 911.
Stroke's no joke. If you or someone you love is showing symptoms of stroke, don't wait because it might be too late. Dial 911. Time lost is brain lost.
So, you're looking for help with your mortgage. Worried about foreclosure? We can help you keep your house. All we ask for in return is that you submit to our plans for galactic domination.
Sign.
If you're facing foreclosure, talk to the right people. Speak with HUD-approved housing counselors free of charge at 888-995-HOPE.
When you open a book, a whole new world comes to life. And you just never know who you're going to meet.
Humbug.
Read a book and experience the wonder. Discover the fun and become part of something magical.
What's happening?
Read A Christmas Carol and other books online. Go to read.gov. Explore new worlds. Read.
Well, if it's any consolation, this was a basketball team that led Indiana University, the #1 ranked team in the NCAA, for 13 minutes about 10 days ago. Indiana Wesleyan got the opportunity to play against Indiana University in an exhibition game, like I said, about 10 days ago, November the 1st. Tom Crean, the Indiana University head coach, got wind of Indiana Wesleyan and the fact that they would use some of their guarantee money from that game to take a mission trip with their basketball team. And so he said, I want to give my exhibition game this year to Indiana Wesleyan. And for 13 minutes, I'm sure he was a little uncertain about that decision. As IWU led that game, Indiana eventually pulled away with their size, their strength, their athleticism. But anyway, OCU had a tough task tonight. #4 ranked team in the NAIA, a team that has advanced to the Elite 8 4 times in the last 5 years, and they hung around for a while. They trailed by only a dozen at halftime, but Indiana Wesleyan, their size and athleticism, blew things wide open, and 79-61 was the final score. And Tony Stockman going to come out and talk some hoops with us. And Coach hung around 39-27 at the intermission. What were your thoughts in the first half, and how were they able to kind of open things up in the final 20 minutes?
Well, I think it was the same thing that we talked about before the game, that we were worried about if our pressure could bother their offense, and it didn't. It almost aided to their offense with the back doors, and we weren't talking on defense. And then the same thing we talked about with execution on offense. We didn't execute our plays. Their pressure and their strength was a little bit too much for us to execute our plays.
That had to be the frustrating thing that I saw over here. There were 3 or 4 possessions where 32, 33 seconds, you played pretty good defense, and then it was a backdoor or it was a breakdown and they made you pay.
Yeah,
it got to be frustrating as a head coach.
It was very frustrating, and we knew that's how they were going to play, and we just didn't execute on defense either. We had things to stop them from moving the ball and swinging the ball. We didn't want to guard for 30 seconds, but we didn't execute on defense, and we didn't execute on offense. I was worried about that because I knew it was the first home game, and everybody's family was here. A lot of our guys played out of our system, and it was really frustrating.
What could you have done a better job offensively when you say what went wrong on the offensive side?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it, executing and making sure that we run our plays, but it was just, like I said, people just cutting off the plays on their own. And, you know, their defense, it has to be part of the credit, too, because they play great defense. They pushed us a little farther out. But we didn't run our stuff. And, you know, you got to give credit to them because their defensive pressure took us out of it, but I felt like our guys went away from our stuff a lot, too.
One guy that came in off the bench kind of gave you a spark was Big James Nelson. Even with all their size, he was giving him fits and just seemed to be real active tonight in his limited minutes.
Yeah, he played great. He came in, and like you said, he found a good position, what we talk about a lot, and he finished the buckets. And, you know, Devin got in foul trouble, so that kept him on the bench a little bit more. But it was good that, you know, James came, and we need him to play that way.
How disappointed are you with the free throws? Unofficially over here, we've got 6 of 18. Tough to knock off a #4 team in the NAIA with that kind of shooting.
Yeah, definitely. And we fouled way too much, too. And, you know, you can't have that. We got to make our free throws. We can't foul. And like I said, we got to execute our stuff. And you know, I felt good at halftime. I told them, I said, we're still right there. We just got to do these things. And we started out the beginning. We cut it down to 8. We were doing what we talked about. Then they made one play, and then we kind of dropped our heads and went back into everybody trying to play for themselves.
Effort, you talked about it coming in, how hard your guys play. Were you pleased with the effort tonight?
Oh, yeah, the effort was there. We played hard, you know. It just came down to the execution, and they executed their stuff, and we didn't execute ours, and I think that was the difference.
6 days off, Great Lakes, another Midwest region team. You've already beaten Kuiper and Grace. Any initial thoughts on that matchup with Great Lakes?
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping, I think our team was, they were starting to think we were really good because we beat a couple good teams, and this helps us. This helps us for coaching and for them to start paying attention and for us to continue to get better. And like you said, we have 6 days to do it. So I'm excited for this week of practice, and we can step back. We've always been preparing for games, and now we can start preparing to make ourselves better.
Coach, appreciate your time. Look forward to your thoughts next Monday night.
Thank you.
That's the head coach of the Trailblazers, Tony Stockman, gracious enough to talk with us after the game. Indiana Wesleyan wins tonight 79-61. Taking a look at some of the final scoring numbers in this basketball game for OCU. A whole host of Trailblazers scored tonight, 10 of them to be exact. And how many? 3 in double digits. Evan Bartlett leading the way with 11. James Nelson and Wesley Russell with 10 apiece. 9 for Trayvon. A very quiet night for Trayvon. 6 for Trayvon Crater. 6 for Devin Benson. 5 for Kostoff. 2 for Kenny Cooper, and 1 point apiece for Evan Mills and a foul-plagued Jimmy Horton. Trailblazers, as I said, 6 of 18 from the charity stripe for only 33%. For Indiana Wesleyan, 16 tonight for Jordan Widener and Parker Stauffer to lead the way. Aaron Martin added 10. Zach Vandewater added a dozen. So the Wildcats put 4 in double digits. 9 for George Jones, the 4th off the bench. Hopkins had 7. The NAIA All-American OCU did a real nice job on him. He was plagued in foul trouble most of the night. 10 for Aaron Martin, as I said. 5 for their point guard, DJ Bettinger. Taylor Schoen had 4. And the Wildcats, 16 of 26 at the charity stripe for 62%. So Indiana Wesleyan improves to 4-1, and they are back in action next Saturday against Damon College. It's a 3 p.m. tip. And then next Tuesday, they go on the road to Marion College before returning home on Tuesday after Thanksgiving to take on Grace College, number 8 Grace College out of the NAIA. Trailblazers back in action in this building next Monday night. They will take on Great Lakes, a 7:30 tip. Airtime with the pregame show is set for 7:10, and then they go on the road. They take about 11 days off, eat some turkey, and the Friday after Thanksgiving, 8 days after Thanksgiving, November 30th, they will go on the road to a place that has not been very kind to OCU, Batavia, Ohio, UC Claremont. That is a doubleheader, 6 p.m. for the women, 8 for the men. We'll have that as an audio-only broadcast. Airtime with the pregame show is set for 5:40. And then looking a little bit further ahead, Mount Vernon in this gymnasium, December the 4th. Another video broadcast for us, so it doesn't get any easier. Great Lakes will be a tough test. Remember, they beat Grace Bible a year ago, the 4-time NCCAA champs. UC Claremont the Friday after Thanksgiving, and then Mount Vernon here on Tuesday, December the 4th. All of those are going to be tough games that the OCU Trailblazers going to have to play well to win. So again, OCU drops to 3-2. It ends a little 2-game winning streak from Michigan over the weekend. Indiana Wesleyan back in the winning column after losing on Saturday at Cornerstone in that Crossroads Challenge up in Grand Rapids. So that kind of puts a wrap on it. Again, the Trailblazers dropped to 3-2. We will talk to you Monday in this building. Airtime with Great Lakes and OCU is 7:10, and the opening tip is set for 7:30. Want to say special thanks to the entire team that JT Burcham leads from Fairfield Digital Media. Scott up there with the camera giving the thumbs up, and all those guys do a great job, and appreciate Ben Bellman, Tony Stockman taking time to chat with us. Thanks also to Greg Tonigal and his staff, Kyle Schmidt, the SID at Indiana Wesleyan, for their help lining up an interview with Coach Tonigal and helping us prepare. But thanks goes most of all to you for watching. The final score, 79-61, Indiana Wesleyan a winner. Until Monday night, this is Rick Cooper saying so long and have a good night, everybody.